Game of Thrones has just wrapped up its 7th season, and snow is officially falling in Westeros. We asked you to review the latest offering, so did it live up to your expectations? Were enough characters killed off, and how will it all end? Here's what you told us. Things moved so fast I expected the Doctor to turn up in his TARDIS. 4 out of 5 from Mrs. Jackman, 44. Dublin this season, while thrilling and exciting, just felt rushed. Things moved so fast that I half expected the Doctor to turn up and take various cast members to the next far-flung destination in the TARDIS. It would be hard to get a dragon inside one, no matter how much bigger it is on the inside. It's also a pity that Danny and John have about 3 facial expressions between them. Luckily, they're surrounded by people who know how to act. The actor of the series for me was Liam Cunningham as Davos, and, although it was sad to see her go, Olenna Martell Diana Rigg went out with a massive ladylike 2-fingered salute to Cersei. With growing grandiosity we lost subtlety. 3 out of 5 from Barry Bracken, 32. Amsterdam. Be careful what you wish for. That's Season 7's legacy. Where once we cursed Game of Thrones' meandering pace, its 6 previous seasons of more or less dense intricacy suddenly unspooled at a relentlessly breakneck speed. With growing grandiosity we lost subtlety. And with masses of plot to propel and less episodes to serve it, exposition tended towards the clunky. But Season 7 still gave us exhilarating, compelling and satisfying entertainment on a scale that may never be equaled in TV terms. And yet we barrel towards an apocalyptic conclusion devoid of any of the peril that has built to this bigger moment. It's predictable now in a way it never was before. The ultimate payoff to this grandest of narratives is closer than ever, but what has Season 7 sacrificed to get there? Risk-taking, plain and simple. Bring some back for Season 8. Put us through the ringer. Well, hate you for it, Game of Thrones. But well, love you all the more. One of the best seasons. I think this was one of the show's best seasons. Many people argue about the timeline issues, but on the one hand it has always used such time travel. Look at Season 1, Episode 1 when Robert Baratheon travelled from King's Landing to Winterfell, and on the other hand it doesn't prevent us from understanding the plot. It's a logical consequence of the decreasing of characters and intrigues. The reduction of episodes allows them to stage more epic battles interspersed with political plots, which has been one of the core values of Game of Thrones. A dumbed-down, shark-jumping, zombie Simpson-esque mess. 2 out of 5 from Ronan, 30. Galway, Ireland. George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones triumphed due to its subtlety and sheer brutality. There was no redemption, no one was saved, it broke completely with the norms of television in modern popular culture. That's what made it brilliant. In comparison, Season 7 is a dumbed-down, shark-jumping, zombie Simpsons-esque mess. The previously complex and carefully woven plots have been cast aside and replaced with little more than Westeros' very own buddy movie. Bourne should have been killed off. Jaime and Bronn in Game of Thrones. Photograph HBO 2017 Home Box Office, Inc. All in the good old days we would see a lot of people die an untimely death. 4 out of 5 from Dom, 19. Slovenia. There were a few things that bothered me, especially the fact that almost no major character died this season. The show writers clearly do not want to upset fans. They don't seem to realize that this is exactly what made the show so interesting and addictive in the first place, the fact that you can never know who will end up dead. Tormund, Jaime, Bronn, Yara, Grey Worm, they were all kept alive. In the good old days, we would have seen a lot of them die an untimely death, possibly with a head explosion. Just lazy. 3 out of 5 from Ulises Zepeda, 27. Mexico. I will remain a fanatic, but the show has suffered in quality, whether it be its big ambitions, its gargantuan amount of plot points to cover, or its overall lack of heart. Major character deaths, huge battles, big discoveries all go unnoticed or downplayed. Game of Thrones in its earlier seasons had showstoppers which were so big you couldn't help but leap out of your seat in amazement. This season, the speed at which it was developing meant you became detached from the characters. Sure, you understood their motivations, but it all seemed like a fan service. I would very much look forward to some unbeatable odds followed immediately by a loss. Deus Ex Machina is their go-to plot device nowadays and it's just lazy. There is nothing wrong with this epic besides the eternal wait for more. 5 out of 5 from Rebecca, 44. Northern Ireland. Zombie dragon taking down the wall. Woman comedy moments and reunions. Jon and Dany naked, while related. Visions, and betrayals, and armies, and treaties. Arya, the fantastic and terrifying, crosses Littlefinger off her list. There is quite simply nothing wrong with this epic situation besides the eternal wait for more. Hurry up. A weakening skeleton. 3 out of 5 from Nick Day, 50, Hereford. The previously razor-sharp pencil that scribed the series has grown blunt. Set-piece battles still impress. Stunning camera work, lighting and costume design bring rare bottled lightning to the small screen. Stout direction and experienced character actors at the height of their powers provides thespian flesh that still effectively clothes the bones of a weakening skeleton. But this begins to feel more and more like one of its own corpses walking. It is ironic that the best moments from the show, like Cersei and Tyrion's reunion, probably cost them the least. Photograph HBO 2017 Home Box Office Inc. All what it lacks in guile it more than makes up for in excitement. 4 out of 5 from Sean Quinn, 30, Vancouver. I don't buy into the criticism being leveled at this season. Granted, the politicking isn't is intriguing and the relationship development is rushed, but I think that is to be expected in the penultimate season when plots are being tied together. What it lacks in guile it more than makes up for in excitement. My favorite character to get the chop this season was Olenna Tyrell. What an exit though, assuming Tormund found a safe haven. Do I love this show? No matter what, of course, but I wish Vice and Benioff wouldn't take that love for granted. 3 out of 5 from Ellis, 32, India. None of the big set pieces felt earned except the dragon attack on the Lannister army. The most egregious of these was the fall of the wall. After 7 seasons of telling us about its impressiveness and impregnability, it felt so cursory to have it fall in less than 5 minutes. Even the Lyanna Hagar revelation felt like I was reading the Wikipedia entry. There was no drama. It is ironic that the best moments from the show probably cost them the least. Tyrion and Cersei's tempestuous reunion are the Hound and Brienne sharing a moment of parental pride over their ward, Arya. Fans are willing to forgive a little more thought, a few lines of exposition dialogue and it'd have been satisfied. Do I love this show? No matter what, of course, but I wish Vice and Benioff wouldn't take that love for granted.